Jason Palmer, who is an otherwise good thinker and doer, has been captivated by a bad plan. It's a plan that people have touted to save Social Security. The better plan is to go the opposite way. So this current plan for saving says lift the cap. There is a cap, thank goodness, on the amount that people are forced to pay in. It caps around $115,000 of income a year. So you do pay in that 15.6%. That's your share plus the employer's share goes into Social Security where it may never come back to you. That thankfully stops for higher income earners so that their percentage is a little bit less and they can keep more of what they earn. It should never be unleashed because that just taxes people more with no extra benefit. Indeed, if they are to get a, quote, fair return on their money, higher income people will take even more from the system. It'll go bankrupt even faster because higher income people tend to live longer, so their benefits are going to get enhanced. Longer time, that means more take out than put in. It's not a solution even if it were fair. The right solution is to go the opposite way. Eliminate mandatory Social Security. Make it optional. Okay? People who want their guaranteed by government, slow and steady, there'll be some return on your income. Fine, you can contribute, but don't force it. Let people keep 100% of their income. Let people save on their own, or maybe spend on their own, or invest on their own so they could return even more later on. The returns from Social Security are paltry. Okay? Take an example. Maybe you're in a similar situation that for the last, say, 35 years of work, you're thinking about retiring, and you have had on average $7,000 a year extracted from your income. Maybe less when you first got started 3 decades ago, more now. On average, $7,000 a year, and you could have been earning 7%. Okay, kind of a tough earn now, but for 25 of the last 35 years, that was on the low side. Ask any investment manager up until a few years ago, is 7% good? And they said, no, just that's pretty bad. So give me a modest number and take a look at your returns if you kept your money. In 15 years of doing this, you would have saved and compounded about $200,000. Over the next 12 years, that $200,000 would likely have doubled, $400,000 plus 12 more years of income, say $160,000 that have then get extracted and could have been yours. The next 8 years, we're coming up to year 35. That $400,000 now turns into over $600,000. That $160,000 now is, say, 50% more of that, $240,000, and you've earned for 8 more years, but unfortunately gotten extracted, say $70,000 more. Ladies and gentlemen, that's on over $900,000 that you could have earned that was forcibly extracted by the federal government. They've taken away, and you could have earned over $900,000 on this. And guess what you get? $3,500 a month. Okay, $3,500 a month comes to a little over $40,000 a year. But you're now taxed on that. So, and it's not a 15% tax anymore. You're probably in a higher bracket, thanks to earning more and maybe having investments that get you and maybe your spouse into a significantly higher bracket, 25% at least. So you are losing 25% of that $42,000 a year income. You're down into the low 30s. And you might die and not even have this annuity for very long. If you and your spouse both pass, you're not getting your principal back. Your kids aren't getting that. No, that's gone. That is about the worst return that any investment scheme has ever done. Make it optional. Let people thrive with the money that they have earned themselves. Don't put us into a partial servitude by paying for something that most of us are never going to use. Very few of us are going to end up on welfare. That's what Social Security is going to become because it is bankrupt. Okay, there's no way of truly saving it for an ongoing system. It is financially bankrupt. Any private organization would rate it DDD. Only the government says, oh, well, we could still bail it out. You can't. Not without extraordinarily taxing people so high that they move to other countries. Make it optional. Most of us will take that option happily. Those who would like to stay in government's hands still will have that option if they want, and that's enough to run a fund and almost certainly run it better.